I'm sure this motor I probably need to gap them. Do I need to gap my rings? You don't know I'm talking to him. I made a post on the Facebook and said if it got 12 likes I'd work on my stroker. It got more than 12, so guess I'm working on it. UPS is here.
UPS is here. Hold on a second.
Never mind. Well, we gotta figure out UPS. Maybe it's my ordered roller rockers for it last night, so that's probably not them.
It's my stuff.
Dang. I forget this video I get to tell you why we quit working on it. I didn't say it in the last video, but now I get to tell you. So do you know where my motor is?
It's back there somewhere. It's cold back there.
We didn't tear it apart, did we?
I don't think so.
This it?
Yeah, it's stuck off in the hole back here. Can y'all hear UPS?
It's flat on the floor. So the can's in there and everything.
Yep. Hold on. Bring it in and let it warm up.
It's going to be out of spec. What color should I paint the valve cover?
Priorities. You gonna paint it and then grind off all that aluminum again?
Yeah. Alright. We gotta find everything. I know there's a box of stuff over there. I've ordered a few more parts. And I get situated. Like I said, I'll tell you why we quit working on this, because evidently I did something wrong, what they told me. That's good.
I want to see, hold on a second. It's 70-ish degrees in the shop. What are you? 50 degrees. Yeah, it's got to warm up a little bit.
Pistons probably won't go in there.
Sure they will. You got clearance.
Alright, so if you watched the last video, this is why I kind of lost interest. I was all for it, and then it hit a big speed bump, and I had to wait months, and it's just been off my brain. But if you wasn't here last video, I'm sure you was, but this is come out of a Jeep that I may add up there, but it's 93 Grand Cherokee, had like 320,000 miles, been approximately like 11 years on the rev limiter. It was actually still in better spec than what the book calls for to like rebuild stuff. That's amazing. That's a different thing. But Clegs, I got a 5.0 stroker kit. Y'all can see. And we was all going along. I don't remember stage 3 cam. I don't even remember what I ordered. It's been so long. But as we was putting it together, I'll pick the camera up here in a second. I'll show you. We got all the pistons on and started putting the rings on. And I noticed one was kind of like hanging, I guess you'd say. So got to looking, and like I said, I'll show you here in a second. But I wasn't going to call them out until they made this right, which they didn't. I'll zoom in here earlier. Like I said, it's right in there. It's like when the tooling was coming out, they crashed and did this. So I hit them up, told them, you know, obviously as soon as I said something, he's like, well, you dropped them. I kind of figured that's how that would work out. But during COVID and the world crashing and you can't get nobody to work, just the quality of everything has went to crap. So I know it's not my fault. I mean, it's dented right here. I don't even know how you could drop it. I don't know, but just sucked. So it wasn't Clegg's fault. They're just the middleman. So I called them, told them what happened. He called, and of course I had to pay for them. So now I had to buy 2 more pistons. They said they was expediting them, but I had to wait months. So I don't really know what that means. But let me pick the camera up. I'll show you what we're dealing with. This one's kind of even hard to tell in pictures, but right in there it's pushed up just a little fuzz, and then actually this one up here had some I wouldn't call it a booger, but a bad spot on it. But this one's pretty bad. If you look like the straight line portion there, see how it's like pushed up? Like I said, I think whatever their tooling was when they was honing this, they come out and they crashed it right there and pushed that up. I don't know, can't prove nothing. I mean, probably could have filed it out, but for what something like this cost, I feel like it should be right. So went ahead and ordered new ones. I'll weight check them on. Maybe Justin's got some drug scales, but that's where I'm at. I think I just ordered the rocker arm, so I can probably get the head on, but we'll have to measure for push rods. These are full floating, so they're kind of a pain in the what, but I'm gonna get them off and then get the rings, and yeah, these things are massive. They are forged too. Check that. Stay. All right, just got one off, but check out this rod. Brass inserts, full floaters. All right, I got the scales out. Like I said, this is the bad one. I believe it's 14.9 ounces, I believe. And this is the new one. 14.9. Probably need better scales, but that's what I got. What's a stock one? 15.6. Check out, these are high output, 91 through 95. Holy moly, that's nearly twice the weight. That's, yeah. It's, crap, well, not twice, but these are 15 ounces and that one's 1 pound 5 ounces. That's a big deal. Alright, I don't know how well this will show up on camera, but I was doing it. Always remember locks go to the flat side. So I got one of them lock rings in there. Man, they're not fun at all. So, not a professional motor builder at all. Got that. And wish y'all could see these clips. I found out the easiest way to do them, but it's still hard, is start that side and then see a little spot right there. Put it about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch past it. Start working it down there with your finger. Get you a little thermostat screwdriver, a good one. You probably need safety glasses. And just work it off in there. Come on. There we go. That looked easy, but I swear they're hard. So, got one down, gotta get the other one, and then start rings. That's the one thing I can't stand is rings. They take forever. And I'm sure this motor, I probably need to gap them. Do I need to gap my rings? You don't know I'm talking to him.
So Dex was asking me what the ring gap was supposed to be, so I got out my little book. And what was it you told me, Dex?
He asked me what I was doing with the motor, and because that tells all that. Said it's probably easier for me to tell you what we're not going to do.
So you're not going to do circle track or drag race supercharge?
We might do street nitrous, no supercharge. We're not doing circle track.
What about supercharged monster truck mud bog?
Yep, no air-cooled Baja. So pretty much add all these together and figure out the happy medium.
I don't think that's how that works. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. One of the comments was, how do they get the displacement out of the same, essentially, bore? I mean, 30 thousandths is not where you're getting your bigger displacement, but obviously the crankshaft is stroked now, so it's going to go up and down farther. But check this out. I swear I think that's the same exact rod length. They've just lowered the piston pin down, or piston on the pin, and then therefore you get more up and down travel. So I don't know. I'm not a professional motor builder. Just enjoy it. And then these are the rings. If you didn't see the other video, Engine Tech is made by Hastings. That's arguable subject, but made in USA. So now Justin says I have to gap them. I think he come up with 19 or 20 thousandths on the gap. So that's what we'll be running. Just got to figure out, check them. He said he thinks they'll be close enough already, but we'll see. Pretty sure we all know this already, but if you didn't, I think it's pretty neat. Luckily, I got a $200 piston to use for this, but I just put an old junky oil ring. You could probably do the other ones, but these are so short. And then just kind of make sure the ring's a little centered, and then push it down. You got yourself a center. So weird, I never get this technical on anything. Hack job, remember? Let's see, 20 thousandths, anything above is good. So we got a little wiggle room. Oh yeah, we in the good. Well, I ain't got them straightened, so I'm gonna check the rest of them. That's just the top one, so I'm gonna check the second groove, and then I don't think you check the oil ones, do you? I'm not checking the oil ones. I think the top ones are probably 21 thousandths, give or take, but the bottom, or the second step ring, seems to be a little tighter. I got, well, one in my finger there is 19 thousandths, and it gets pretty close on one of these. Well, they're all about the same, but yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna ask him. I don't Feel like that make a difference, but I don't know. But luckily, I don't have to go over and sit there and grind on these rings. I know that. All right, got that miserable part out of the way. The bottom ring, actually, or the second ring, said top on there, which I don't know what rings you'll end up if you're doing this. Maybe you're just watching. But Justin has Mahalia here, and we figured out the top ring is sometimes universal. Sometimes they bevel, but the bottom ring has a different bevel. So as far as I know, those were just put them on anyway, from what I can tell. There was no top. We'll talk to him, see what he thinks about lining up the rings. I got my preference. I'm sure he does. We'll probably mix them together and go with that. Did you call him Mahalia? Who? Did you call him Mahalia? Is that what you said? Mahalia. Yeah. Mahalia. Sounds good. I just call it Molly. It could Molly. Or Maul. But Mahalia sounds so much better. Yeah, I guess our southern accent's getting away. Wash. Motor building, we all know everything is right, wrong, everything, people do it different ways. And ironically, me and Justin both agreed first time on this. Oils, I just try to make sure they're all mismatched. It says certain ways, I've never done it. And then, oddly enough, we agreed on this. We take the compression ring. Let's see, we'll put, there's a bug crawling on me. Focus. If anybody knows anything about cameras, Dex's camera only focuses on faces. Yeah, is it focused yet? Yes, focused. I usually put one about right in that area and then literally flip over and just match it to the other side. I've told Dex this a million times. If the oil or rings are in good condition, they spin their whole life. So eventually, show the rings again. Eventually, those rings are going to meet up and be lined up with each other. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But it needs rings. We do know that. Yes. So at this point, I think get the compression thing out and lube everything up. And I need rod bearings. Anything else I'm missing? I'm definitely going to use grease on this one because I don't know how many months this thing will be before it cranks. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but it's just the truth. It'll probably a week or two. You're going to use grease on the cylinder walls? Am I? I don't see why it wouldn't work. No, I was going to talk about grease on the main or the. Okay. And I got King, and that's what they told me. King and Engine Tech are the same thing. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna get this put together. All right, what a random problem we run into. I was going to spin the motor over as needed. I guess 4.2 crankshaft is a different thread. We haven't found that out yet, but I'm just using the cam to spin it over. Talking to Justin, I'm not a professional motor builder, but this is a professional motor. So I think that I should probably plastic gauge the rod bearings. Everything's new, should be in spec, but well, we just got done talking about the pistons. They was new too. So I'm gonna plastic gauge them. I'm gonna get all the cylinders all lubed up. Get that, and then I'll do plastic gauge, probably just on one of them. And then, yeah, do I gotta do all of them? All of them. Serious? Oh my gosh. That gun. Motor building. Do you have to? No. Should you? Yeah. You got a lot of money in this thing. Yeah. If it was a stock motor, I would say one or two of them, but. Alright, well, that'll be a boring process. Probably be next year before I get this thing done. Luckily, it's not a V8 though. That'd be 2 more to do. Alright, I'm gonna show you. I got 1 6 in. Just show you what we're doing here. You want to measure the oil tolerance between the bearing and the crankshaft. Everything should be good, but you know, new stuff. So, little piece of plastic here, and you put the bearings together, dry, torque them down, and then how much it squishes will be one of these measurements here. So, I'm gonna torque them down. It's supposed to go, let's see, the instruction says 45, and the internet ARP themselves says like 40 even. So I think we're going to split the difference, go like 42, 43. But right now I just got it going to 40. Pretty tight. So that's that. Now literally just loosen it right back up. And then I'm gonna try to find a way to separate them without crushing the plastic gauge anymore, and we'll see what it looks like. Loosen. Maybe I can tap them off there. It's very rare you clean a hammer. Oh yeah. I know somebody at home is just cringing right now. Good thing I'm not looking. Okay, so now... Yeah, Justin takes everything way too seriously, man. What is desirable? 1 to 3 thousandths is what it says. Clearance range. 2, 2.5 on yours. I guess it just depends on application, which I don't know of yet, but... I would want a little bit more clearance on this engine, but... That's metric, ain't it? Oh, there we go. We are over 1.5, just barely.
So around 2.
Well, no, it is 1.5. 2s are down there, so we're about 1.5 thousandths. Yeah. Is that okay? It'd be okay. I'm gonna check one, but unless it's different, I probably won't show you nothing. So now, knock those back down, get my, this stuff we prefer. Like I said, it won't run off or nothing like that while this motor's sitting. But I'll lube the bearings up, get them torqued down. And one little trick, every time that I do something, torque one of them down, do a full revolution of the motor. Every time you torque one rod, just in case you get the wrong cap or something's wrong size, just it's a whole lot easier to find it then than when you do all 6 of them and you're trying to figure it out. So I'm gonna get all those knocked out. This is kind of lengthy process. I was just checking my rolling resistance here, and I was like, I kind of do this slow. I was like, whoa! If I can get it to stop in the right spot. Oh, I went too far. Somewhere right in there, Justin's got feeler gauges out. No, that's a 20 right there. Something we never noticed, or I just noticed. I don't know why. It's the 93 block. Look at that right there. It's got like a angle V. That one's beveled. That one's angled, beveled, and that one's angled. Kind of strange. I don't really know why. I feel like you would have went ahead and did all of them, but whatever. All right, let's hope none of the other ones. I didn't even look. I think that one's even closer. Justin said 20 thousandths. I think I'm probably gonna have to clearance that one. We didn't even look. The back one was closer than the front one.
Really?
Yeah. Probably roll it over and get a little air grinder. Probably use a Dynafile. That way it'll pull all the shavings back as it goes, and then obviously clean it out. If we remember right, I don't think we're supposed to run the girdle with the 5.0 kit, but they still sent us, I guess they're called spacers, so I'm gonna try. I don't have high hopes for it though. And that's what sucks. I think if we keep spacing it up, we're gonna be bumping the oil pan, so.
We're gonna make it work.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for as important as the girdle should be, I feel like it needs to be there on this motor. Oh, moment of truth. Oh, there's that one already. Already? No, it ain't hit yet. Hey, it clears. Something hit. Is it hitting on the back there?
Yes.
Yes.
Barely.
It's so close. Let me go backwards to the next set.
Right. Those hit harder. Okay, so...
It's not by much, though.
No, I'm thinking if we put this jig in a press, I guess we need to mark them and then... I don't know the best way. I think we're out of nut and bolt, so I think you can just grind the spot out. I mean, look how close it is right there.
All right, so they do hit, but I think we're going to make this work. Like I said, I want that girdle on there for insurance purposes.
You can see right here, this one's actually got...
I think the front one's going to clear, so very close tolerances. We're going to make it work. You're recording this?
Yeah.
You can't record this.
I'm not that way. We trying to mark them so we know where to grind. I said, just get a bigger ratchet.
I can see it cleared it.
Yep.
Them clear.
Them clear.
And then this one right here. Boom.
Oh, we're done.
We're done.
All right, so we're gonna take it back off. Probably hit it with a little soft grinder. That's what you think about it. I mean, I get the rod is casted to be strong, but that's just the rough part of the casting. Like you could probably.
And that part's not going to stretch a lot, anyways.
Hell, it rides on the top side anyway. The bottom don't have to be
Yeah,
strong.
that's what I said.
All right, we're gonna do some clearancing. Now we're not getting into like thousands of stretching and heating and all that stuff, but that was the worst one right there. So
About to pull out the Harbor Freight grinder.
the $9 grinder that'll never give up. It'll work. Hack job. All right, so I am gonna go ahead and clearance this one. Little bolt hole boss there, and then just right there, just a fuzz. And then Justin is
I'm coloring.
coloring with his crayons right here. I got to thinking we should clearance, shouldn't have a problem, but if we tear this thing back apart, I'd like to be able to see if they ever hit. I mean, I don't think it actually technically hurt nothing, but I'd like to know. We'll see. So evidently I didn't oil the cylinders. We went back and pulled number one piston out. It was making a noise. We thought we might have stacked the oil ring, but I mean, everything's good.
He didn't put no oil on the cylinders.
I put it on a rag and wiped it on, but evidently it takes more. I guess there's new cross hatches or something.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. Let's see. Got that clearance on there, so we're good. Need some freeze plugs.
I got some.
Alright, got it together. No more squeaky piston, I don't think. Yep. Justin just did the math. It turns out it's a
About 292 to 293.
yeah, 292, maybe a little more. We put 40,000 for head gasket.
Yeah, I don't know what the crush is on
Yeah,
that gas.
you had to know the crushed head gasket thickness, which we don't know, so just guessed it. But that, and it's a only comes out to a friggin' 4.8 liter. Somebody, yeah, don't tell nobody that though.
We only bored these to 30 thousandths. If you do the math and bump it up to 60 thousandths, it bumps it up to right at 4.9 plus. I'm gonna say the head gas is probably closer to like 50.
Yeah, probably MLS is probably thicker, so yeah, it's right at it. But that makes sense. They advertise it as a 5.0 because you can go to a 5.0, but obviously you start at the smaller portion. But anyway, come out 9.3 compression ratio, so got to run a expensive gas. Not that expensive. 93. So for today, I know y'all won't see a break. I think that's about it. Gotta get some lifters. Forgot they sent me push rods, but I don't know. We'll have to measure for the other ones.
Well, you gotta get the head on and get your rockers on and figure out what push rods you need.
Numbers and stuff.
And you might get lucky. You know, they might.
What are they?
I'm sure they're stock.
Buddy said well, they ain't gonna tell the length, are they?
No, they just
Push rods.
stock part on it.
Still got some valve springs. I guess I gotta order a billet fuel rail because everybody else is running them. Guy over here building a $5,000–6,000 motor, and look at his clothes. His cuff's about to rip off, and I think I need to get my priorities right.
Look at these paperweights.
Oh yeah, I needed some paperweights to hold my napkin down, but that's all they're good for. All right, well y'all don't see these brakes. That's so strange, but I got some parts. Can't find a razor, so this looks like a razor.
Go on now, there's like 10 razors over there. Right there, in front of your face. On the side of the... Here.
Oh, right there, cool. Nobody knows where you keep your razor blades. I hope these are my... Yeah, I hope these are my roller rockers. I was debating on buying these, and the more I thought about it, I was like, you're in this deep. But that's what sucks about motor building. It's like, where do you stop? You can get this, you can get bigger this, you can get better that. So you just have to draw a line somewhere. Oh. Stickers.
Everybody likes
$500. Race car stuff. Still got to figure out what I'm doing with this motor. These are Harlan Sharp roller rockers, non-adjustable. And if you're looking up, there's, well, I'll zoom in on the part number here in a second. But I think if you added
A at the end of the part number, it come up AMC's version, I believe, which was the 4.2, and they took a 3/8 stud instead of a 5/16 stud. So you had to drill and retap the head and mill the, I guess you'd say, the deck surface down, the rocker pedestal down 400 thousandths. So I thought about it, but I was like, I'm pretty sure that's for boosted application. So I don't think I'll ever be, well, I don't see the need in those rockers right now. More stickers. More stickers. Evidently, these things are very widely used on everything. Cool. Wish they'd make different colors so you could have different colors, but whatever. Everybody swears by these things, and I did watch a dyno. All they did was change rocker arms, and I don't remember exact numbers, but it made a significant difference. It's kind of surprising. But I guess there's a lot of rolling resistance, or I guess you'd say rolling resistance there, so. And rolling resistance there too.
Are they the same ratio?
Pretty sure. I couldn't find any. These are 1/6.
I think it keeps 1/6, pretty sure.
Somebody mentioned that he had 1/7s, but I never seen 1/7s anywhere, so you can always mod these later. I don't know. Okay, I'll show you the part number and then figure out where I was at on this motor.
Come on, camera. It don't like white. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but it don't. So like I said, if you took that part number and added an A, I think that comes out to the AMC one. But it's just not today. So. Alright, I gotta figure out where I was at. Got paperweights. Still being easy with them. I don't know. I might end up needing one. Hopefully not, but so got pistons in, that's all good. Lifters. That'll be a tedious process, but you just want to make sure when you put them in there, fail.
What was it?
Kind of like springy. Something randomly fell. But be sure they spin. If they're like hard to spin, I've taught this 100 times, but it's not a lifter. You would think the cam lobe would sit dead center. It actually sits offset, and it's on like a 1 degree incline, and it sits there and spins the rocker. So the whole time, if it don't start spinning on startup, it'll never spin, and it's just gonna eat this thing. That's how we know.
When you drop this lifter in, if you're using oil, when you drop it in, it should fall in by itself and spin freely. If you have to force it in, it's not clean enough.
There's one thing, I went back. I said I like this grease, and it's still okay, but this Clevite stuff seems like it's gonna hold on for a little longer. So I said I was going with this, but I went with this. Not that it matters, but I think the only other thing I could teach at this point is, I know it sounds weird, but when you look down through here, the cam lobe will be on the back half of the lifter board. So just something to watch out for. I'm pretty sure on that. Do you know for sure?
What's that?
All the cam lobes will be on the back side of the board.
Because they spin.
Well, the lifters actually is what holds the cam in the motor. I know that's crazy to think, but if you ever notice on the front, they just got that little button on there. All the lifters are trying to push the cam this way, so there's literally no reason the cam would go that way.
Not only that, the gear, to my knowledge, the gear on the distributor, I think it's trying to pull back all the time too. So it's everything that's going on with this cam is trying to pull it back, which is good. You don't want it going forward.
Yeah, if you didn't, you'd have the cam sitting there doing that. Alright, I'm going to clean these up, make sure they all fit. As far as we know, this is a pretty good name brand. I really want to try those other new lifters, but I don't guess this is a motor you would try new parts on. So we're just going to go with milling. Maybe that'll work. What's it, Johnson or?
Johnson were the ones that I...
No, ain't Johnson. Rhodes.
Oh,
yeah. They have, from what I understand, they have maybe a hole down here that bleeds onto this surface, because
On these, the only oil you really get is either splashed or runoff. So they actually have leakage that goes down on here on this surface. But that's a video for another day. We're not going to gamble on this particular motor. All of them fit nicely. I'm going to spin all of them. I've hit a button on my camera and it's popping up something. I don't know what it means, so I'm kind of scared. All right, maybe I got it figured out. It was trying to track objects or something. Sorry, but rookie mistakes. Like I said, they're all in there. They all spin nice and free. We're actually going to try to degree a cam. Hope Justin knows how to do that, but check out my valve covers out here.
We shouldn't be good at any of this stuff.
Exactly what he just said. I just got done saying this video literally is 6 months since I started filming. There's no reason I should know what I'm doing, but I'm learning as I go. Yeah, check this out. Aircraft remover removes paint. It dang sure does. That ought to come right off there, so I may do, well, I don't want to touch it. I don't know, I think, yeah, that's all gonna come. Oh man, that's so cool. Just peels right off there. I may wash this off there and then see if I need to apply another layer, but I believe that's got it all covered.
Can I make a lot of noise?
Yeah, you can make noise. The biggest struggle on this motor is what color to paint it. I know that's hard to say, but still don't know what it's going in. I don't know how to pick a color. So we are at the point of called degreeing the cam. And I personally have never done it, but I'll try to explain what I know. Is you get this little dial indicator and you're trying to find true TDC. And I think what you do is go back just any number you want, say 10 degrees, and then you measure how much that plunger there moved. Well, then you go forward 10 degrees, see if the plunger moved the exact same distance, and keep finessing it till you have 100% true TDC. Did I say that right?
Enough that they can find it. There's a couple different ways to do it. But
yeah, there's multiple different ways, and we're not professionals by no means. But that, and once we find true TDC, said I'm not a professional at this. Just kind of explain what's going on. You'll find like
we're going to make sure the cam's doing what it's saying it's supposed to do.
Yeah, you find the angles and the duration and when this opens up at what degree. And then that way we'll put a dial indicator on the intake valve or intake cam lobe and see if everything opens when it's right. Probably not a 100% necessary step, but we're here. Fast service, same day shipping.
Can't turn it smooth enough to.
All right, let us get it set up. So, like we're saying, the can or the crank when it comes up, like there's going to be a spot on the throw that it's actually going to keep reading the same number. So
you're going to get movement going up with it rotating, but once this gets to the very top dead center, there's going to be a spot where that rotation is straight up and down. This is still going to be rotating, but the piston's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
For a split second.
So I think I've seen on video, like I said, we're going to go essentially 10 degrees, 15, really doesn't matter what you use. But see what the measurement is on that, and then go 10 or 15 degrees the other way, find the same measurement, and then you can kind of...
I think you divide the numbers.
Yeah, it's actually wrote on this piece of paper somewhere. I'm not good at reading. Oh, it's saying going on, well, 100 thousandths.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I ain't gonna lie, we've been struggling with this. I think we finally got it figured out as far as checking the cam is timed with the crankshaft. So as far as I know, we got this indicator here, which we've got at 0. Everything's already done. We're just showing you what we've done. Is you find, give or take, where you think is TDC, and then pick just a, you know, what'd you say? You pick 50,000?
50,000 is what I used.
Is you'll roll this over. Go ahead and just roll it.
Yep.
Roll it till it goes to your desired number, you know, whatever it might be.
So we're at 50 thousandths there.
And then you'll come down here and it'll be on 11 degrees.
So then you take and you go back to 0, and then we're going to go 50 thousandths again. Overshot it a little there.
Hard to do on a new type motor.
Yeah. We went too far. But either way, it ends back up on 11. So if your numbers were, you know, let's say 15 here and 9 here, whatever, you add both those numbers together, divide it by 2, and then that will tell you where true TDC is, and you can adjust your wheel as you go.
Don't watch this video trying to learn how to do it. And then now, if you were trying to check or intake centerline area, and like I said, we've already done all this, so check it in. Should be, what do we say? The cam said it was
110.
Intake center line is 110 degrees.
So we'll put it on 110. I gotta reset this because we've been messing with it. So same, huh?
We gotta go another revolution.
No.
Or is it maxed out?
It's maxed out.
Oh,
pretty sure.
so yeah, we're peak of the cam right there.
We're supposedly at the peak of the cam. So same thing here, but I'm gonna go 20 thousandths one way and then 20 thousandths the other way. So
yeah, he's basically just doing what we just did right here with that tool, trying to find the exact degree.
So do I need to show this too?
Nah, we're good. We're gonna keep on rolling. Like I said, there's got to be tons of videos out there just showing you what we did. So now,
one last thing. Obviously, the simple thing would be if you want to find a lift, you just go to the bottom side of it and then roll it over till it gets to the top, and that's your gross lift.
We checked gross lift. They shorted me by 1,000th.
Yeah, 1,000.
It's supposed to be 300,000th lift. I got 299, which you factor in the rocker comes out more. Anyway, so now I'm gonna take all this garbage off there, and what do I do from now?
Put the head on.
Put the head on. Are we running different valve springs for breaking in?
I don't think so.
Okay, you mentioned it one time, but I was gonna say maybe easier just to change the whole head.
What do you mean, change the whole head?
And to break in valve springs, or to break in the lifters.
Could do that.
All right.
I think we'll be okay.
So if this is your first time here, well, this is crazy. This head is got spider webs that y'all can't see. They're right there. Yeah, you can see them. But this is a head Justin has crafted up, and we thought I wouldn't say invented it, but started doing it. Clegs, they was already doing it. We just didn't know. But they are, well, oh, it's so heavy, one-handed. 2-inch LS valves, and I think that's the 1.550, I think, LS valve. So they come in different heads or whatever, but they'll fit. Got to cut new seats out. Justin kind of polished on it and realized, ported, that that's not fun. So LS springs, I don't know the exact spring on that, but I think he had to cut the pockets out down there. Not real sure. I'll ask him when he comes back around, but yeah, should be a good flowy head. And that's the part, the rocker arms I was talking about. Yeah, that probably wouldn't be bad at all. You have to drill and retap them to the next size up bolt, and then you have to shave this down 400,000. So that gets you a bigger rocker, but I don't think for this application it was necessary. ARP head studs, pretty common sense stuff there. Be sure and use that stuff. I got a big jug of it somewhere. The only thing I'm kind of curious about is, I guess you put Permatex on that, maybe? That one goes straight through, if nobody knew. See my finger? So that's in a water jacket. Got to make sure it don't creep up through there. That's like, Justin didn't even know this. He had a guy text him that his head was leaking coolant out of this hole right there. It's like, it's not even possible. But it goes through, which goes through this hole, which goes to that hole, which gets water in it. And some of the old 4.2s actually leak out of the valve cover bolts. I don't know. Somebody might have drilled them too deep. It's weird, but yep. 93 model, if anybody's wondering. All right, we was digging up some information. This is pretty neat. We looked up Jeep stock springs. They rest at 81 pounds, and then they max out somewhere between 190 to 210. The LS springs that we have, about the same, 76, and they go to 220. So, like he said, you've never heard of LS float a valve, so we should be good. What RPMs we'll be turning this. So, I went and got these springs that the kit come with. They seem to have a lot of resting pressure for some reason. and then they go to 230. So they'd be a little stronger. Somebody's gonna roast me. I wrote pounds instead of inch pounds. No, that's pounds. Never mind, I'm right.
It's just pounds.
Okay, but that would probably come into play a turbo when you got intake pressure, but we don't have turbo pressure, so we're just gonna go with LS valves, springs.
I wanted to add something.
You can. It's a video.
Oh, it's a video?
Yeah.
Neither one of us, when we got these, I just bought stock ones because I knew it was going to be breaking in. I didn't realize that they were going to be as close as that from the get-go. So we got lucky with that.
Got lucky. Alright, need a head gasket, and this is so like, I'm nervous, but I don't really know why I'm nervous. I mean, it's just
It's
putting
just a normal head on a normal engine.
Alright,
Well, I got a thread. We got these fancy things.
yeah, I got to thread all them in there. So we got it ready to go. If you're doing this for some reason, put the gasket on in the studs. We like to never get it on there.
Lift mine up. Oh, been waiting for this moment.
Oh my goodness.
Good. I don't want it to drop.
Probably should have done the studs. Yeah. Yeah, lesson learned. Put the head on and then do the studs.
It looks cooler this way, but
I just wanted the picture, to be honest. Alright, this part, I read an instruction. Surprisingly, it's the same torque specs. I figured they bumped the torque specs up. I guess these just don't stretch as much. So, 25 circle motion, 45 circle motion, 110, except for this one. And while you're here, that will crack the block. Like I used to be the one, I'd be alright. But I've seen blocks up there where it goes into the block. It actually will crack it. So be sure and use ARP lube, and this will take forever. Be sure to put the ARP lube on both sides of the washer and the nut.
and be
And
sure
the threads.
and be sure to get it everywhere.
It's like music. Anti-seize. It gets everywhere. All right, gotta go.
What are you doing?
Hey, turn that off. The music's on.
Oh,
So I put just a dot right there. It's not exact science, but that way when I get done, I feel like all of them should be in the same vicinity. But I'm just curious, I wonder how many revolutions they'll make. I've never even thought about this. So most of the long ones made relatively exactly full turn. That one didn't, and that's the 100-pound one right there, so it didn't go as far. All the short ones made about, I'd say 75%, 80% of a full turn. So proves stretch theory right there. We got
some of these.
okay. Next step, probably need to get on push rods as quick as we can because we may have to order them. We may not have to. I don't know.
We'll see.
So as far as we know from our knowledge or lack of knowledge or whatever you use it, we think we're good. You can see that's where that one touches and that's where that one touches. If I remember, Steve Morris taught me was he said you want to start past it, and as the rocker arm pivots down, it'll kind of walk its way back. And yeah, so we're not getting full lift because the lifter is not pumped up. So by the time you get full lift, we should be spot on. And that's what Justin's trying to explain. There's no real good way to explain this, but like on a small block, you can get different push rods and you can actually lower the pivot point or raise the pivot point because this stud is adjustable, but these are not, so that the fulcrum is going to be the same place. So just need a lifter or a push rod. You're supposed to measure 40 thousandths of preload. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. Just from my experience, I mean, if it gets in the lifter, it's happy. So we'll just do them by feel and see where we go. So I'm going to get all these bolted on. One step ahead. Oh, I got to paint my valve cover. Y'all ain't seen it. Well, we forgot to check valve clearance. So we come up with a, we retrofitted my big block race car valve tool here. And we've got it on BDC, feeding it air. Justin's broke it loose there. So
I told him about the time I got that last one torqued down, I said, we forgot one important thing because we kind of changed a few things here.
yeah,
It's probably going to be fine, but
I'm sure it's fine because Clegg sells this kit. So I feel like they wouldn't sell it if it's not, but we're just gonna try our best to have a little peace in mind. Other than that, I don't know nothing. Hope we don't lose the valve in the cylinder. Justin does not want this on video, but I like teaching people things, so I'm putting it on video whether he likes it or not. You want to say anything?
I made a boo-boo.
Luckily it's not bad, luckily we're doing what we're doing. But I was trying to find TDC and all of a sudden something snapped. It's like, what in the world? So I'm not saying I wouldn't have made the same mistake, but that one jumped out and then we was looking. This one at any given point is about to jump out. So just a simple mistake, but
It scared me.
yeah, I had no idea because there's not enough in the motor to be snapping. Just a simple mistake.
In my defense, these the twist on them or whatever, it's really hard to set up. Like when you're
Yeah,
trying to line the bolts up or whatever, and I guess it fell out when I was doing that.
you need like 9 hands to hold the pedestals, then you got to hold the push rods, and you got to hold the part that goes to the. Yeah, it's just tricky. So
Oh, that's how it happened. Look here. See, that one's in place, and see, this one's just kind of because it hasn't settled down. This one's holding.
they go together.
They're going together, and that one holds it up. That's exactly how it happened. Because see, that one's just sitting there.
Yeah.
So you have to watch them as they go down.
Okay.
Lesson learned.
All right. So like I said, we're teaching y'all. You can see this shaft won't let them individually.
See, once I start going down with this one, both of them go down together.
It makes sense. Rookie mistake, but yeah, learn a lesson from that. While he's working, I'll just explain what we're doing. This is probably not the way to do it, but it's the way we're gonna do it. Is I'm gonna try to get true TDC right here. We're gonna get a dial indicator. We're gonna get our cam card, figure out, well, we already know it's 300 thousandths lift there. Do 300 times the 1.6 rocker.
This one might pop.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's in a bind. I don't know. 153.624, 153.6. I was trying to do math. I can't do it. But we're gonna get a dial indicator. We got a soft spring on now, so we're gonna try to. That's soft spring. Golly.
Well, it's not fully.
Well,
sitting down.
what I was worried about is if we use this, the lifter has like 500 thousandths of squish. So if the lifter's not pumped up, not even gonna get like probably a 2/3 of a throw.
You're supposed to put a solid lifter
Yeah.
in there when you're doing that.
Supposed to do solid lifter, but we just forgot it and it was a lot of work. So like I said, we're gonna try to push this down to oh, it already touched the piston. But yeah, we're nearly at TDC, so I'll video when we get there. I could just delete the scene, but I don't like doing that. But take back what I just said. I was worried about full lift of the cam, but I don't do this like he don't do those. But all you do is put it at TDC, and they just want 90 thousandths of clearance for some
90 to 100 thousandths.
90 to 100,000. So this is just safety measures, but you're supposed to put it all back together, measure it as the piston's coming up and all that crap. But this we have no worries. But
I got my fancy measuring device here.
TDC should be, y'all can't focus. It's straight up and down, relatively close, and I mean,
We're close to an inch there.
yeah, at the bottom. So
That's full quarter inch. No, more than that.
millimeters. What is it?
Millimeters?
No, I'm kidding.
I got
So
centimeters.
we're good on clearance. I figured it was, but I just wanted to check it to be sure. We'll put all that back together. We got it on BDC. I showed this earlier, didn't I?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, never mind. We're putting it back together. Sorry. Kind of nervous after somebody tried to blow my motor up. That would have been a disaster. If we hadn't caught that now,
It was like this mistake is why we found that.
if that hadn't happened, if you don't know cam, when you break it in, as soon as it fires up, you got to go to like 2,500 RPM for 20 minutes. So, wouldn't really, well, I would have shut it off because I would have known it's missing. But glad we caught it now. Well, I think I just talked to my buddy and he said I want to have taller valve covers. I'm going to try to measure it, but first I got some paint and I do have the Jeep picked out, by the way, so this is kind of going to match it. I think I decided I'm going to do basically head, block, and the oil pan that color, and then I don't know what valve cover I'm doing yet, but little trick, hold on.
Justin taught me this, and I know people already know all about it, but got this surface taped off there. Hit it with a soft mallet, and then, yeah, it'll just tear off there. So, I don't know about the water pump. I guess I'll figure that out on my own. So basically, I gotta get an oil pan on it and get it prepped for paint. I guess that'd be the tech. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll show you a trick when I get there. All right, got an oil pan on there. Just got a few bolts. I gotta take it back off, do the oil pump. But I figured I'd start on the bottom, roll it over, get the top, and that's what you can't hear it now. But that girdle must be a close call because it won't go down. I think it's gonna fit. It'll just be a tight squeeze. So I'm gonna go back there and get it painted. I don't think there's anything I'll have to show you on that part. So Justin usually makes his mistake, but this time Dex made the mistake. I'm not good at reading. This is one-step color effect over chrome and bright metals.
It looks cool on the shelf though, doesn't it?
I know, and it's actually on the car and everything. So very, very misleading. They get you to buy this $17 a can paint, and now you need more paint. I tried it, and you can tell.
Oh. Yeah, see,
I don't know if y'all know this, on my new silver Jeep, you notice the bead locks are kind of like a dark purple color.
I bought that same stuff in that purple color, and I think I put at least 7 coats.
Just to get them to look like something. So I'm gonna try to paint it aluminum and then come over it with that stuff and just see what happens. Just the oil pan anyway. Dude in there will not be quiet. So got it painted aluminum. Let's just see what this does. Oh, it definitely goes on red. More redder. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna get that done. I guess that's our answer. So I gotta get the block. I'm gonna get a crappy valve cover to cover up those, just to make sure they don't get nothing on there. But I'm gonna do the bottom, then I'm gonna flip it over and do the top. That way, if I miss anything, you won't see it from the bottom. Y'all get it. Well, this is not enough because it's not actually a paint, it's like a cover. But this is gonna look really good after I clear it and get accessories. It's what I was kind of debating on the fact of a solid motor or like a two-tone motor. That's why I made the post on Facebook. And when you do like a solid motor, it don't look good. Can y'all hear that? They can hear it. I know, I've seen it. But I didn't like a one-tone motor because it's just like blah. But once you start getting accessories, I feel like this is gonna look nice. It's almost like the candy. See how it's still blotchy? That's what it said like on this side. Let me turn the light on. Yeah. But like, it's not a paint, so it doesn't like do paint things, so it's kind of weird. But I'm gonna keep on spraying it until it's covered.
It looks definitely overdone for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Looks like money. All right, nowhere near enough paint. So I'm gonna roll it back in when it gets a little dry and start seeing if we can figure out clearance on the rocker arms. But it looks like we're so far away, but if you really look at it, it's about done. I mean, it's not in the Jeep running, but the motor's almost done. We're gonna get blown away. It's gonna be a wild night. That's gonna be one nice looking motor if I get everything else bolted to it. Went and got about 2 cans on the entire motor now. It don't really paint. It's like a stain, like I said. So got it on there. I went to Walmart and bought some clear paint and left it laying there. So got to go get more clear paint. I am gonna clear coat it, make it shiny, and that's what we was talking about. Roll it back in there, oil pump, bolt on. I mean, I don't even think I videoed that. And clearance, so make sure the rocker arm's gonna clear. That's it, as far as building the motor. All right, days later, the paint looks good enough. I think at this point, I'm gonna roll it over, put the oil pump, just a stock milling pump if I ain't said that, and then oil pan gasket. Seal it all up. I got a lot of stuff ordered. I went through Rock Auto, just click, click, click. Just get some stuff I need. I got done, it's $500 something. I'm curious how much money I'm gonna have in this motor that's gonna make 275 horsepower, maybe.
Maybe.
It's insane. It's not worth it. I'll go ahead and tell you. I mean, unless you're just. So yeah, we still gotta check the rocker arm clearance to valve cover. So I'm gonna get it rolled over, do that, and then that's next on the list. Shout out to O'Reilly's. They give me this free thing that they couldn't find a baggie for. Even though that's what I got to thinking. I'm gonna have OBD2 gauges for the temperature, and I think I'm gonna run where this one, like the 96 or whatever, older ones. I think I'm gonna have 2 gauges just to make sure. And I gotta order an AFR gauge. Definitely getting there, but I don't like the color scheme, so I think I'm gonna change the oil pan gasket. No, I'm kidding. Got the bottom end on. Everything should look good there. Justin got some Play-Doh. We checked clearance on the oil pickup screen, and this is what we're dealing with now. So evidently these are taller. Common sense. They're just thicker material, and they say they're going to hit, and if it does, it's pretty catastrophic. But I think it's a word, catastrophic, whatever I'm trying to say. We can't check how far they go because the lifters are dry. We could pump the lifters up, but I don't want to do that because every lifter manufacturer tells you to start the engine dry. Is that right? Mm-hmm. So that's an option, as we could put oil pressure on it, spin it over, check clearance, but that's what I'm getting at. So we're trying to come up with a way to be for sure. And I've got a piece of wood and kindergarten yardstick, and then Pittsburgh here, and well, I can show you numbers, or I can just tell you them. It's like 366,000, so it's 3 inches and like 5/8, give or take. But we've got these baffle screens right here, and when they're in place, it drops down to like 3 inches on the dot. So I'm thinking I can do away with these. I haven't showed you my oil filler cap. Hold on. I don't want to have to use a funnel. So that's literally going to be like a 3-inch circle. I had that from my race car buggy, and I ordered the wrong bung, so I think it's going to be kind of comical to have a oil cap that big. But we can weld a bung on here for AN fitting, and then maybe try to create a baffle, or maybe just go straight to a catch can. So that's what we're working with. Got anything to say?
That's a big oil fail.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Take it apart. I ain't got one hand.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I literally think that's about it for now. I've got a balancer ordered. Got the water pump over there. I ordered a new thermostat housing for no reason.
I'm like,
you could drop a spray.
I think you need to move it, either that or move it forward to like right there.
Yeah, front or back, and can try to catch that right there. But you did have it right. It's gonna be comical because, like I said, you could literally, I can fit my hand through this because I fit it in the buggy to rub some stuff on the fuel. Got to get that powder coated. So yeah, we're gonna try to find some way to hard check these clearances and see if we can clear the stock valve cover. I know most people just get a taller valve cover, but I was just trying to avoid spending money on, and it just looks weird. Tall.
Trying to avoid spending money at this point.
Maybe.
With this yardstick, we have gathered the evidence we need. We've tried multiple different ways. Like I said, there's no way to really whatever. So we know the cam's 300 thousandths lift. So I set this up and we've raised it up, and then we've got and measured here, we've measured here, we've got tools. We did a lot of testing. I think we're in the good. Justin found a washer that was like 300 thousandths. We put Play-Doh under it, dropped it on, all good. And that's the thing. We haven't even factored in the gasket at all, which this gasket's pretty thick. So all that's looking good. Worst case, it cranks up and destroys itself. Now, it'll probably just been a push rod or a set of them, so that will be bad, but we will survive. But look in here, it's got these baffles, the way they're shaped, and steel. I think we figured out that it would clear, but what I'm gonna do is basically cut these edges off right here, and then, well hell, I'll just turn it over.
I ain't thought about that. Why didn't we think about that?
Oh, well,
Just cut it and turn it over.
Yeah, so I'm gonna cut it and turn it over and then cut these edges off, clean it up. And then right in here, those will have to be kind of just filed off on the sides. I thought about decking them down, but I think we're good. So I gotta get that, and then I don't aluminum weld. I've got one, I just don't know how. So I'm gonna get this welded on, and I think I'm gonna go with AN fittings. Somehow we gotta get this 4 off here and turn it into a 5, and that way we're not false advertising.
Think he can TIG weld a 5.0 in that?
We might can find one, get a plasma cut. So other than that, I mean the motor, a couple bolt-ons, and I need a Jeep to finish with. Actually, it's kind of weird. You'll see the other video before of me working on the Jeep when I come over here to work on the motor, and now I'm telling you here that I'm going to work on there. So pretty cool, awesome. Thank y'all. Hope this enjoys. Next, I'm more excited, I swear, after I started this, and I'm more excited to finish this and start a just straight budget, cheapest possible, store-bought parts, no numbers, just a 4.6 stroker.